Shawn Mendes, Magic in the morning, 8:36 is our time. I got 51 degrees on our thermometer. Yes, I said it that way on purpose. Thermometer. Mike's looking, where's the thermometer?
I don't know.
It's that digital thing up behind you.
Oh, that thing that says thermometer?
Yeah.
From Radio Shack, by the way. What I love is it's from Radio Shack, and it's still firing in all cylinders back there for you. That thing is never going to die.
I have a mixing board for my DJ business that's 28 years old from Radio Shack.
Yeah, you couldn't kill him.
But I say thermometer because it's like oxymoron or oxymoron.
You're putting the syllable, the emphasis on the wrong syllable, isn't that? So, anyway.
Oh, that's a smarter man than me. Mike Barrett with good policies this week. Barrett Insurance Agency, Portland Street, St. J. What do you think? A quick overview of reminding folks, you got to check out your insurance, all of your insurance needs.
Yeah. And, can I tell you something? We're all guilty of this. I mean, I'll give you the example. My truck had to go in for an inspection on Friday. And
I know where you're going.
I pulled into my office, dropped off Charlie. And I'm like, I'm just going to check. And I checked my registration. Yep, that's current. Checked my insurance card. Oops, that's expired. I'm an insurance agent driving around with an expired insurance card. So it's easy. We all are busy. We can all set it and forget it. We can all forget things. We can all have well-meaning intentions that we never get to. And I think that is probably, if I could give you a huge thing this morning, is, pay attention at least to the high end of your insurance, especially with it. We've talked about it in recent weeks, right? Building values are going through the roof. Are you insured properly? Do you have a mortgagee listed on there that you don't have anymore? Do you have a lien holder on your vehicle that you don't have anymore? Are your beneficiaries correct on your life insurance policy? These are all things that are so easy just to forget, and you're paying the bill and you have the assumption that everything is going to go the way that you intended to without knowing. And that's kind of a scary process.
I want to go back to that insurance card thing, okay? Because nearly everybody listening knows that I'm an ASC certified mechanic, or I was, for pretty close 15 years.
Yes, sir.
When it comes time to do that motor vehicle safety inspection, one of the most annoying things is having to call you and say, Mr. Insurance Man, your card is expired. I can't inspect your car yet. So I
have had that happen. So I caught it before it happened this time.
Way to go.
Yes. But that's the thing. Insurance is not a one-sided thing. It takes two to tango, people. So make sure you're a part of the process and remain part of it. You don't have to think about it every day. You don't even have to think about it every year. But as things change in your life, year to year, every 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years, make sure you're at least looking at it long enough to get a quick understanding, and you can move on. And I can help you with that. That's the beautiful part.
Well, that's the neat thing. Tell folks how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. You can give us a call at 748-5224. Find us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, online, thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, and YouTube. We're all over that as well. Just, we try to make it easy to do business and easy to find.
People looking at the radio going right now, they only do that at the end of their conversation. I'm not even close to the end of this conversation. There's a reason we're going to transition here. It was in the Caledonian Record. We read it in our news all day long yesterday. We're going to shift gears from insurance to a new fundraising effort for folks in our community whose life are impacted with cancer. I can't tip my hat to you and those involved in this enough times. NEKCAN,
right?
A new fundraiser. Let's hear the details. You are spearheading this, okay, with a great group of folks.
But I'm not sure how it came to be that I'm now spearheading it, because I just was involved early on in some of the conversations of, hey, we're concerned, we want to do something local. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Dan Kopp, this was his brainchild. And Paula Ward, very integral in this as well. I just simply stepped up and said, what can I do? And in traditional Mike fashion, I don't have the word no in my vocabulary, and I just ran with it, and it's been fantastic. We all have been impacted by cancer. I can tell you the story that, and I want to thank Amy Ash Nixon from the Caledonian Record. I've known her for many years. We had a conversation about this, and what a wonderfully written article yesterday, and I want to thank her for that. But NEKCAN is the Northeast Kingdom Cancer Action Network Incorporated. We are a registered domestic nonprofit in the state of Vermont, and we've also registered the trade name NEKCAN, because if anybody can do it, the NEK can. which is why we chose that.
Love that.
All right.
Love that. Now, what I want our listeners to understand about this is, yes, there are still other fundraising events out there for cancer organizations.
Right.
This one, the significance is it stays right here in the community. You mentioned Paula Ward. Mm-hmm. Wes, her wonderful husband, dear friend to the entire community, was in last week. We broke the ice on this. We've got the first ever event coming up on the 7th of May, just 2 weekends away.
Yeah.
This money is going to help folks that, say, have to drive to Dartmouth, to UVM Medical Center, or to other places, family members spending nights in hotels. That's what this is all about.
Yeah. The biggest concern that we have is that we want to be able to support those. When we see these huge events and these wonderful events and just how magical and awesome they are, we love that community spirit, and that's what keeps us all going, right? Everybody, including those who are just fighting this horrific disease. But so we're kind of a two-pronged organization. First is we want to have these types of events that bring people together and raise awareness and raise a sense of community. And then we are going to take those funds and we're going to put them right where they belong, right into the pockets of those who need it most. So it will be grant opportunities that my phone is going off.
Wonder why.
So we'll be writing grants. People will apply. We'll write grant money. We're still working on all the logistics because we are really in our infancy. So I'm not gonna lie. My goodness, stop. So we're still waiting for our 501c3 confirmation from the IRS. We are, like I said, a domestic nonprofit in Vermont, but we are looking for that 501c3 tax status. So everybody who contributes has a tax deductible opportunity. And it's community helping community. And I'll tell you, with COVID, it seemed like everybody kind of took a step back. People who live far from home said, maybe it's time for me to go back home, be closer to my family. People looked around and said, you're my people, you're my community, we're in this together. And I think the timing was really appropriate to bring this on. So if you don't mind, I'll throw a couple of names out there.
Well, first off, let's remind folks, I want you to get the names out, but May 7th, just 2 weekends from now, Thursday, on our Facebook page, we posted a link.
Yes.
It's on Facebook. Tell them the name of it, and then let's hear the names.
And I had to pull it up because I always say it the wrong way. It's the Rail, Trail, and Ale 5K, and this is going to be held at Goodfellas in Danville. That's our starting and our ending point, and the event itself will take place on the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. And it's called the Rail, Trail, and Ale 5K because at the end of the 5K, you'll get a commemorative glass, and you can either get a craft beer or a root beer, depending on your flavor and your age, of course. But it's just a cool event. All proceeds, the registration is on the Facebook page, which if you look up the Northeast Kingdom Cancer Action Network, or NEKCAN, you'll find our Facebook page, and you can actually register for the event via a link that goes to Eventbrite, which is an event page, and for $25, you can join us.
All right. Time's running short, and you've got some folks that we want to hear about.
Just want to say a big thanks to our board. We have 9 people who are completely dedicated. We've had multiple meetings. I want to thank my stepbrother, Garth Leach, who is our web guy, who's going to be putting in tons of hours getting our website built, getting our infrastructure on the technology side built so that we can make this all easy for people to communicate with us. Couldn't do it without him. Colin Fucci, our secretary, Laura Lee Duran, our treasurer. Garth is the vice president and the web guy. We've also got Jansen Wilhoit, Jan Oliver, Melissa Whitcomb, Dan Kopp, and Paula Ward make up our board, and we're so excited to have them all.
I think it's fabulous. NEKCAN, and Mike, for all you do for the community, of course, now being newly elected to the select board in your wonderful hometown, thank you so much, and thanks for joining us for Good Policies.
Love it.
Give the contact information once again.
Sure. You can find us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Phone number for Barrett Insurance is 748-5224, and you can find us online on Google, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm all messed up. Barrett Insurance Agency. Just look for that. And look for NEKCAN, too. That's just as important.
All right. Good Policies with Magic in the Morning. Now, Coldplay